Sometimes life can seem very complicated. We may face problems like a lack of money, great pressure, or a broken heart. These situations can seem very difficult, but don't be sad. You are not alone. Great thinkers of Stoic philosophy such as Seneca, Epictetus, and Marcus Aurelius also experienced difficult times. They faced sadness, loneliness, and pain, and often felt discouraged. Marcus Aurelius, for example, despite being one of the most powerful leaders of his time, also struggled with issues such as fear, frustration, and doubt. He faced personal crises and political challenges like everyone else. What Marcus Aurelius discovered is something very important. Our thoughts have a profound influence on how we feel and live. If we only think about difficulties and allow ourselves to be guided by negative thoughts, we only make life more difficult for ourselves. But there's good news. There are ways to deal with these problems more clearly and calmly. Stoic philosophy provides us with practical tools to help us cope with fear, loneliness, and self-doubt. Today, we'll learn 10 Stoic exercises that are like remedies for these feelings. These exercises act as anchors that help us remain calm and balanced even in difficult life situations. Let's learn together how we can use these exercises to transform challenges into opportunities for growth and inner strength. With these tools, you can face problems with more courage and serenity. First remedy: focus on your own path. Seneca talks about a very important idea called euthymia. This means following your own path in life without being distracted by things from the past or by comparisons with others. Imagine walking along a path that leads through the middle of a forest full of trees. If you keep looking back and comparing your path with that of others you've met, you could get lost and stumble. Euthymia is about keeping your gaze firmly forward, focusing on your own path and believing it's the best path for you. To have this kind of peace, we need discipline and self-belief. If we don't believe we're doing our part in life, it's hard to find inner peace. These days, we're more connected than ever, and this can lead us to become obsessed with comparing our lives to others. If we spend too much time reading social media comments or following the lives of celebrities, we can lose perspective. Many of these comparisons don't reflect people's real lives. Seneca teaches us a profound lesson about true inner peace. It comes from appreciating our own progress without getting lost in comparisons with others. Imagine that your life is like a unique and incomparable book, with each chapter written according to your own journey. When you start comparing the plot of your book to other people's, you distract yourself from what really matters, the story you're writing. It can be discouraging to see someone else succeeding ahead of you or parading a seemingly perfect life on social media while feeling like you're struggling to make progress. These moments of comparison can be like distorting mirrors, reflecting only part of the picture and not your whole life. Marcus Aurelius offers wise and direct advice in his Meditations. Don't waste the rest of your life thinking about the lives of others. He reminds us that when we spend our time and energy obsessing over the lives of others, we push our own growth and happiness into the background. Comparing ourselves to others is like trying to measure the height of a mountain with a small ruler. It simply doesn't make sense. Everyone has their own path and their own rhythm, and true success lies in following our own path with dedication and acceptance. So don't let yourself be distracted by the success of others, but focus on making the most of what you have. True peace comes from recognizing and appreciating your own progress, celebrating small victories, and learning from challenges. When you focus on your own path and growth, you will find true serenity and fulfillment, undisturbed by comparisons and external appearances. Accepting that you are on your own path, without competing or feeling inferior, brings an incredible sense of freedom. The next time you feel the urge to compare yourself to someone else, take a deep breath and appreciate your own path. Remind yourself that every step you take toward your goals is important, and true peace comes from embracing your unique path with gratitude and trust. Second remedy: be a better friend to yourself, not a villain to yourself. There's an old story that teaches a great lesson about Stoic philosophy. It's about a wise man named Demetrius of Alexandria. One day, while walking through the streets of Athens, he overheard a man speaking ill of himself, criticizing and cursing himself. With his calm wisdom, Demetrius interrupted the man and said, "Remember that you are not speaking to an enemy. Be kinder to yourself." This story shows us something very important. We are often our own worst critics. We drown ourselves in negative thoughts that only make us feel worse instead of helping us improve. Stoic philosophy teaches us that we should be kind to ourselves, just as we would treat a good friend. When Demetrius talks about being kind to oneself, he means that we should be understanding and supportive of ourselves, instead of constantly criticizing ourselves. When we belittle and devalue ourselves, we only remain stuck in negative patterns and cannot move forward. The way we speak to ourselves is very important. We cannot evolve if we treat ourselves as useless or incapable. Kindness begins with how we treat ourselves, recognizing our own humanity, and giving ourselves the respect and compassion we deserve. It also means learning to overcome fears and insecurities. There are several techniques that can help practice this kindness and reduce anxiety. One of these is mindfulness, which involves focusing on the present moment and not getting lost in worries about the future. Breathing techniques and relaxation exercises also help calm the mind and reduce stress. Remember that you deserve kindness and compassion, especially from yourself. When you begin to treat yourself with more mindfulness and understanding, you will find a deeper inner peace and build a solid foundation for facing life's challenges with more calm and confidence. Before we continue, I want to share something special with you. To help this video reach you, someone else subscribed to our channel, liked it, and left a comment. By doing the same, you'll help us bring this mental clarity to many other people. So please do your part. It's free. Leave a comment saying, "I will conquer fear." Third remedy, broaden your perspective and improve your view. In the book Meditations, Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor, invites us to see life in a bigger picture. Imagine you are standing on the top of a hill, looking out over a vast landscape. From up there, all the small details blend together, and you see a big panorama. Even though Marcus Aurelius was the ruler of the largest empire in the world, he reflected on how small his enormous responsibilities seemed compared to the vastness of the universe. He suggests that we too do this mental exercise. Instead of focusing only on what is directly in front of us, we should reflect on the long history of humanity and the universe. When we take this broader perspective, we realize that many events repeat themselves over time. What seems like a major problem or achievement now may, over time, be only a small part of a much larger story. The Bible speaks of this too when it says, "Generations come and go, but the earth remains forever." This reminds us that despite all the changes and new technologies, the core of life and the human experience remains the same. Reading the Meditations, a book written over 2,000 years ago, is like looking into the past through a clear window. Despite all the changes and inventions, human emotions and the way we deal with them have remained essentially the same. Like a river that may change color or current, but always flows in the same direction, our emotions and challenges also change, but the way we experience and respond to them is something permanent and constant. This realization can offer us a certain comfort. It shows us that despite all the changes and the fast pace of the modern world, the way we experience our emotions and face obstacles is a constant and shared part of the human experience. Instead of feeling alone with our difficulties, we can recognize that they are a universal part of the human experience that connects us to those who came before us. When we broaden our perspective, many things we consider very important can seem smaller. On the other hand, even small moments and details can become very valuable. A broader view of life helps us better appreciate our own existence and understand our place in the world's long history. By recognizing that we are part of something much bigger, we can find more meaning and gratitude in our daily journey. Fourth remedy, everything is temporary, relax. How many likes, comments, or views did your post receive? Sometimes we get lost in digital metrics and allow these numbers to define our worth. It's as if we're in a game where our happiness depends on the reaction of others. When we receive many likes, we feel temporary joy. When we receive few, a feeling of heaviness in our souls. we place our well-being in the hands of others and shape ourselves to please them. Imagine standing on a stage, constantly looking out at the audience to see how well you're performing. This constant pursuit of recognition can turn us into puppets, moving by the strings of both praise and criticism. The desire to be admired makes us chase an intangible prize, as if trying to grasp a shadow we can never truly reach. The truth of fate. Marcus Aurelius, a great Stoic thinker, gives us a refreshing perspective. In the end, we are all equal. Imagine a great emperor and a humble laborer, both buried in the same earth after death. The idea is that we all, despite their brilliance and power, ultimately suffer the same fate. An old saying goes that, at the end of the game, pawns and kings go into the same box. This reminds us that, in the grand scheme of things, fame and recognition are merely fleeting details. The value of lasting things. Stoic philosophy powerfully reminds us that everything is impermanent, from fleeting success to temporary difficulties. Instead of striving for immortality through fame, we should focus on lasting and meaningful values. True success lies not in being the center of attention, but in cultivating qualities that truly matter: patience, trust, self-control, forgiveness, perseverance, and courage. It's like a tree that grows strong and solid regardless of the seasons. The Stoics encourage us to be the best version of ourselves, not in search of temporary acclaim, but to build solid character. Instead of mistaking external success for true worth, they remind us that true wealth lies in living with integrity and purpose, regardless of the opinions of others. Fifth remedy: accept what comes to you. When we fight reality and think that everything is going wrong for us, we end up creating more suffering for ourselves. Stoicism teaches us that true peace comes from accepting reality as it is, rather than wishing things were different. This aligns with the Stoic principle of accepting what nature offers us as if it were the universal will. If nature wills things to be this way, then we should accept it. This teaching is similar to the modern notion of "thy will be done." No matter what name we use, whether God, nature, fate, or something else, the important thing is to recognize that there is something greater than us and that we cannot control everything. Think about it. How many times have you wondered why some people are born into good situations while others struggle? It's as if there's an invisible lottery when we're born, where some win prizes and others face challenges. These differences are out of our hands. We are born into different circumstances and with different resources, and we can't change that. For example, imagine a soccer player born into a wealthy family with access to coaches and academies from an early age. Another player, on the other hand, born into a difficult situation, has to fight much harder to achieve the same level of success. These examples show that the playing field is not level for everyone. Rather, it's how we deal with our own situation that matters. We may not be able to control where and how we begin, but we can control how we behave afterward. When faced with difficulties, the true Stoic lesson is to accept what we cannot change and focus on what we can control: our attitude and our actions. It's as if we're in a game. Even with the cards we're dealt, what matters is how we play those cards. When life presents us with challenges, we have the opportunity to overcome them with effort and determination. The key is to focus on what we can change: our behavior, our decisions, and our mindset. Stoic philosophy teaches us that no matter what we encounter, our true strength lies in our ability to adapt and improve our own path. So instead of worrying about what we can't change, we should use our energy to grow and improve our lives. To illustrate this, Zeno of Scythia used the analogy of a dog tied to a cart. Imagine that we are like that dog, and the cart represents the things in our lives that we cannot change. The dog can move a little because of the length of the rope, but when the cart starts moving, it has two options. It can fight the cart and injure itself, or it can follow the movement and adapt. If it fights the cart, it will suffer and injure itself needlessly. However, if it chooses to follow the cart, it can adapt and live more peacefully without causing itself more pain. Similarly in life, accepting the things we cannot change and adjusting our attitudes towards those situations is the secret to finding peace and resilience. If we believe we can stop the cart or that it will never stop, we will end up suffering greatly. But if we accept how things are, we can adapt to life's ups and downs and suffer less. Seneca reminds us, fate takes those who accept and drags those who resist. Resisting means being dragged by life, and that causes suffering. Accepting reality and focusing on what we can control is the wisest choice. And if you enjoy the content, consider becoming a member of the channel. Not only will you support the channel, but you'll also receive exclusive content. Click the link in the description and become a member now. Back to content. Sixth remedy, tackle adversity directly. Seneca had a very interesting idea about happiness and adversity. He believed that no one feels sadder than someone who has never faced problems. He believed that we can only prove our strength and character in difficult situations. Imagine if you've never had to face a problem or challenge. That means you've never had the opportunity to see what you're truly capable of. When we encounter obstacles, we shouldn't be sad or think it's unfair, but rather see these moments as valuable opportunities. They are like life's classroom where we can practice our qualities and learn to become stronger. Seneca believed that these challenges aren't simply bad, but represent an opportunity to practice patience, courage, and perseverance. The Stoics believed that challenges help us grow. Epictetus, another Stoic thinker, said that it is through difficulties that we reveal our true character. Imagine an athlete preparing for an important competition. They become stronger not only when they train on beautiful sunny days, but also when they face storms and difficult times. In the same way, we mature and grow stronger when we face difficulties and learn to endure them and move on. Of course, we all want things to run smoothly, but if we always take the easy way out, every little challenge can bring us down. It's like trying to build a house on sand. Without a solid foundation, even a small problem can bring it all crashing down. So instead of running away from challenges, we should embrace them as an opportunity to grow and become stronger. Life, with its changes and surprises, is a chance to become truly resilient and authentic. The next time you're faced with a difficult situation, consider how you want to respond. Will you see it as an opportunity to learn and grow stronger, or will you give in to frustration and give up? Problems will arise, but believing they're an opportunity to learn and overcome gives us more strength to overcome them. But there's a catch. If you've been trying to break free from conformism and ignorance for a long time and can't seem to succeed, it may be due to other reasons you don't know what the cause is. But I know what it is. It's fear. Fear comes like a silent snake and poisons you without you noticing. It leaves you infected for days, months, and even years. And having it is like living a sick life. However, there is an antidote which comes from the Stoics and, together with modern psychology, can free you from all of this, as it did for me. I made a video showing how to get rid of this poison in your life. It's in the first comment. Click the link in the first comment and heal yourself of this fear poison. Seventh remedy, looking beyond emotions. Sometimes we experience emotions that can change our perspective on things and make us anxious or sad. For example, imagine you've sent someone a message and haven't received a response yet. You might think of various reasons, such as the person not being interested in you, but in reality, they might be busy with other things or simply not have seen the message yet. Similarly, if a waiter doesn't come to you right away, you might think you're being ignored or that your presence isn't important. Or it could be that the waiter is very busy with other tables and tasks. How often do we allow our emotions to change our perspective? Sometimes a small problem can seem much bigger in our minds. For example, if you send an important message and don't receive an immediate response, you may feel ignored and undervalued. What was just a delay can become a cause for concern. The Stoics teach us to look at situations more clearly and without exaggeration. They believe that our emotions often intensify problems, like a thermometer that unnecessarily raises the temperature. Imagine that your emotions are like this thermometer, heightening the significance of a situation that could be simple. For example, an unanswered text can seem like a major problem, even though it's actually just a normal, neutral situation. When we see things more objectively, without letting our emotions overwhelm us, we can handle situations more calmly and rationally. Instead of making a small problem into a big one, We can focus on the facts and approach situations with clarity. The next time you feel your emotions taking over, pause and ask yourself, is this really that serious? Or am I just allowing my emotions to exaggerate the situation? Stoic thinking reminds us that events themselves are objective. It is we who give them meaning with our judgments. We must learn to see things as they are, without adding emotions that might distort our view. By taking this approach, we can have a clearer mind and avoid overreacting to problems. So the next time you face a challenge, try to look at it objectively. Adjust your emotional thermometer to remain calm and view situations with the clarity you deserve. This way you'll be able to face challenges in a more balanced and rational way. 8th step, embrace gratitude and stop always seeking more. Imagine that we are on a perpetual quest for happiness, as if it were a pot of gold at the end of a rainbow we can never reach. Imagine what it would be like to spend years striving for success, fame, and recognition, and finally achieve it all. You might think that achieving these goals would bring lasting satisfaction, but does it really? When we achieve these dreams, the sense of fulfillment we hoped for often doesn't materialize. Instead, we are often left with a feeling of emptiness rather than finding lasting contentment. This emptiness can drag us into a cycle of constant dissatisfaction where, despite all our accomplishments and possessions, we fail to recognize the true value of life. Have you ever noticed that some people, despite having everything they could possibly want, always seem to be searching for more without ever feeling a true sense of fulfillment? The crucial difference between having goals and living a life of constant dissatisfaction is fundamental. However, when this striving turns into chronic dissatisfaction, it's as if we're on an endless Ferris wheel, constantly spinning in search of something that never comes. The key to breaking this cycle is realizing that true value lies within ourselves, not in external things. Trying to fill an inner emptiness with material goods or recognition only causes us to go around in circles without ever finding true fulfillment. The teachings of Stoicism offer a profound insight. Instead of constantly striving for more, we should strive for a simpler, more introspective life. By turning our focus inward and finding true wealth within ourselves, we can control our desires and avoid the trap of believing we always need more to be happy. Living a simple and contented life is the key to discovering true happiness and inner peace, far from the illusions of external success and recognition. 9th remedy, take time for your mental health. Seneca teaches us something very important about nurturing our minds. He says that to avoid fatigue and stress, we must do simple things that help our minds be calm. Activities like walking outside, deep breathing, or anything that moves the body and calms the mind are very important. Think of it as a break you give yourself, a moment to rest your mind and recharge. Tell me, what do you do daily to maintain your mental health? Not only is physical exercise good for the body, it also helps calm the mind. It's like giving your thoughts a break and relieving stress. Seneca reminds us that controlling the mind is challenging, but we must do it. New activities like a walk in the park or deep breathing can help you calm down. When you exercise, your body releases substances like serotonin and endorphins, which improve your mood and make you feel good. These substances help reduce anxiety and sadness and make you feel more motivated to keep exercising. It's as if exercise awakens in you the desire to keep going, thus creating a virtuous cycle. If the idea of going to the gym or going for a walk seems daunting, don't worry. There are plenty of options you can try, such as free exercise videos on YouTube. You could try meditation, yoga, or even doing exercises at home. Don't put off until tomorrow what you can do today. Avoid procrastination, which only takes us further away from the mental peace we desire. Remember what Seneca said: lay aside all obstacles and devote your time to a healthy mind, for no one attains this by being too busy. So start today and find an activity you enjoy. Your mind and body will thank you. 10th remedy, a new chance every time. Sometimes it's good to remember that every day is a new chance to begin again. In the world of sales, there's a saying, a salesperson has no past. This means that when a salesperson begins a new month, they shouldn't worry about what happened the previous month, whether good or bad. They should view the new month as a new opportunity, as if everything was starting over. In nature, too, each season brings new opportunities. The rose blooms in spring, and the fruit ripens in summer. Every season is an opportunity to grow and change. When we're sad, stressed, or overwhelmed, it can be easy to think we're stuck in a never-ending problem. We may think our pain is unique, and that we'll never get over what we're going through. But it's important to remember that what we're facing isn't new. Many people have gone through similar things, and many will continue to. Stoic philosophers like Seneca and Marcus Aurelius also struggled, and their ideas remain useful today, even after 2,000 years. It's normal to think our problems are unique, but in reality, they're part of a human experience that everyone shares. Such a mindset can help us avoid being overwhelmed by the difficulties of the past. By remembering that every day is a new opportunity, we can free ourselves from the burden of what has already happened. Just as a salesperson focuses on their new goals each month, we too can see each day as a new opportunity to improve and grow. Every new day is a chance to be proud of who we are and how we handle problems. Starting each day anew is a gift that allows us to create our lives according to our values and dreams, without letting the past hold us back.